Hello, everybody. I'm sorry I've been gone for a couple of weeks. Um, a couple of you were kind enough to reach out to me and tell me that you missed me. I love that. I've been I've truly been saving my voice for all of my videos, which I realize that is not fair to all of my live people. And there she is. Alethea, you are just so awesome. Alethea checks on me, texts on, and says, "Oh, how are you doing? I miss you." And I'm like, "I miss you too." You're always here, Alethea, and I so appreciate you. You have no idea. I mean, but a remarkable lady. She's so I got so much I want to talk about tonight, but I really do want to thank you guys for just 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 being kind and supporting me. It's been crazy, really trying to take care of myself, and I have to give a shout out. I know I did on all my videos. One of these weeks that I was having all of my voice problems, um the the doTERRA throat lozenges, which I have emptied, but I'm ordering more. Um, these are the On Guard. Holy crap, these are awesome. And then the Breathe from doTERRA. Holy crap. These are all awesome. And this is actually my second bag of Breathe. Yeah, for a while I was popping these like candy along with drinking hot tea, green tea, just trying to get my voice back. And then it was just taking me so long to do all of my videos because I would spread it out over the whole week. And yeah. And I was still trying to make it look like I was doing it all at once. So I was trying to wear the same outfit. Why am I doing that? I don't know. I'm crazy. So let's get into it tonight. I want to tell you there's several things that have triggered. I'm going to go ahead and put this out of my mouth. Again, thank you, doTERRA. I mean, who rocks the Casbah? doTERRA. That's who rocks the Casbah. Oh my gosh. These have truly been the greatest for my throat, other than hot tea and manuka honey. And fresh ginger in my tea, also great. And manuka honey. And I mean, my friend Tomomi introduced me to just fresh grated ginger, which I've always liked fresh ginger, but I never really thought about putting it in my tea until just a couple of years ago. I mean, I would drink ginger tea, but not fresh ginger tea. Oh my gosh, it makes a huge difference. So I want to tell you, there's a lot of things that triggered tonight's little talk. The first thing I want to talk about, I don't know how many of you follow this guy, the medical medium. His name is I think his name is Anthony Williams. Pretty sure that's his name. He's really incredible. I follow him on several platforms. I actually listen to his podcast a lot. I'm not religious about it, but I love his podcasts. They're really informative. And to be honest with you, I bought this really awesome juicer because of him. Um, so thanks to him and my trainer, like actually I'm starting to get some definition muscle wise in my body. I know. Um, so because I'm listening to him about how to help heal my body, and then my trainer is very holistic herself. She's incredibly spiritual, and so she gives me a lot of great guidance as well. But part of what triggered this is because the medical medium um had a guest on his podcast, and it was a very different podcast for him because someone last year, and again, I told you guys when Mars was in Gemini, it was very revealing, right? Mars in Gemini, Mars was in Gemini from August until March. Because he was in retrograde, and he retrograded like and went like took the whole journey again in Gemini. So it was intense for like 8 months. It was pretty intense having that much time of Mars in Gemini. It was crazy. And it was very illuminating. And I honestly, it stressed me out so much because I was so sick of people telling me things that I just did not want to hear anymore. Things that I was just like, no, no, I don't want to hear what that person had to say about me. I don't want to see it. I don't want to read the email. I don't want to know anything about that. Now I just want to be blissfully ignorant. Yeah. Well, the medical medium was saying on his last podcast how that there was a group of people in his community that were coming against him, and they came to one of his colleagues, one of his friends, and was like trying to get her to help them take him down. And they had this whole thing set up, and she recorded the sessions legally. And you do have to look at this because like in Georgia, you can record conversations, you can record stuff. You only have to have one person's permission in that conversation. And usually you have your own permission, right? But these are legally recorded conversations. I don't know what state it was in. I don't know what the laws are or anything. But he did say it was a legally recorded conversation where all these people were coming against the medical medium during this Gemini Mars thing. And I mean, this is a big deal. There was a lot of things that came out during Mars and Gemini. And it was a lot of stuff that happened, like that was happening before. It was a lot of stuff that had happened in the past, but it was all stuff that was illuminated and needed to come out. Like, I don't know how many of you guys watched that show. It's an internet show. It's called The Try Guys. Hey, Catlin. Eh, I don't know how many of you guys watched the show, The Try Guys, but not long after Mars went into Gemini, that guy from The Try Guys, one of the guys from The Try Guys, there was four of them. Now there's three. He was found out, and like it's been all over the internet. Very, very interesting stuff. But that all happened. I mean, there's so many things that came out that came up during that time, right? So the medical medium put this on his podcast, this his most recent podcast. I think it was podcast number 35. And he was talking about these people that wanted to come against him. And this lady that was the guest that had found all of this out and recorded the phone calls. She was trying to warn him, and she was trying to tell him that these things were happening behind his back and that he needed to be careful. And they uncovered it. They really had it down to a plan of what they were going to do. The interesting thing was, these were people that he had helped. These were all people that he had helped for them to get better, for them to heal, for them to, work on like their like usually I think he talks about like people that have like long-term diseases, long-term illnesses, chronic things that are happening. And he really does help a lot of people. And I've followed him for a long time, but I started following him again when I had that first migraine, and I was like, what the hell is this? Oh my gosh. I'd never experienced that before. And I was like, I don't want to do that again. So how do I need to fix this? So I started going back to his stuff and seeing what I needed to do to help my body heal. Because let's face it, we are given this vessel and we can trash it or we can heal it, right? So that being said, um, he's not and I think it's very interesting how he's going about talking about these things and how he's like bringing this about, he's not actually like, he is not putting himself in the place of a victim. I like that. He's not putting himself in the place of the victim. His friend is just like, I don't want any of these chronically ill people to be without your help. I don't want any of these people that are having these issues to be without your help. So she wanted to expose these people for trying to bring him down. And which I appreciate. But he never put himself in the place of a victim. Why? He rose above it. Now, the blame game that I put in the title, we all do this. Let me tell you something. This Virgo right here, you betcha. I have done that so much and just been like, oh my gosh, I just can't believe this is happening to me. Why is this happening to me? I mean, we all feel that at one time or another. We feel that. And it does have to do with stuff in our chart. I'll be honest with you, it does. But you don't camp out in that, right? You don't camp out in that feeling. You pull yourself up, you reevaluate, and you go, okay, what do I need to do now to heal this? And when I say this, I mean like mind, body, spirit, whatever. What do we need to do to heal it? What do we need to do to work through it? So, one of the things that I said in the little description box, I don't know if that comes up like really well in the lives. I know you can see it like in the reruns of this. So, you know, if you're watching this in the reruns, this is what I'm talking about. Most of the arguments that we have are with ourselves. Most of the arguments that we have in life, even with other people, especially with other people, they're really arguments that we're having with ourselves. We're projecting. Other people do that to us all the time. If somebody comes up and they want to start an argument and they want to start a dialogue with you, they're probably projecting. Most of us do that because we have to have a way to work it out. Unless we're seeing a therapist, which I highly recommend, by the way. Unless we are seeing a therapist, unless we're seeing a counselor or of some kind, um, we need to be able to work that out. So what do? We go to our nearest and dearest. We go to people, maybe we go to people we don't like, and we sort of, you know, start like picking at that. And we have an argument. And we're having that argument essentially with ourselves. And when we say, things like, I don't deserve this, I don't deserve this, that's an argument that we're having with ourselves. And especially as empaths, when we are saying that to someone who is treating us in a certain way and we don't like it, and we say, I don't deserve this, I don't want to be treated like this, you can't do this to me, and they're coming back with some really good arguments, right? They're coming back with the things that are the lower vibrational selves, our lower vibrational selves, that lower vibrational energy is saying to us the whole time. Do you really, though? Don't you deserve to be treated like this? Aren't you an idiot? You know, do you really think that you can accomplish that? Do you really think you can get that promotion? Do you really think you can get that person to go out with you? Do you really think you deserve like that expensive outfit? Do you really think you deserve that haircut? How many times have we had that argument with ourselves? I've had it a lot. I mean, I'll just be real honest with you. I will say to myself, I deserve this. I deserve something better. I deserve blah, blah, blah. And I'll, fill in the blank. And I'll be like, I deserve a husband that will do whatever. I deserve kids that will do blah, blah, blah. I deserve family members or friends or whatever that will pay attention. But what I'm doing is I'm trying to tell myself that. I'm trying to tell myself that, because even though those words are the ones that are coming out of my mouth, I'm trying to tell myself that I do deserve that. And then that person over there is trying to negate it somehow. They're saying, yeah, maybe you do, but you act like this, you do this, you do. We can't do that. We can't do that with the blame game. What we need to do is really have that argument with ourselves. Stand in front of the mirror. Stand in front of the mirror and have that argument with yourself. Do you know how many times Dr. Seuss has walked in on me talking to myself? It's not even a thing anymore. It's been 13 years. The man is numb to it. You know what I'm saying? He walks in on me and I'm just like having a total conversation with myself. And he's like, who are you talking to? Are you on the phone? Are you talking to yourself? Are you talking to your guides and angels? Like, who? There could be a lot of people in this room. Who are you talking to? And I'm like, sometimes I have to just say, it's me talking to me. But it's better that I work it out, with myself first, right? I mean, that's just my opinion. Hey, Courtney. So the thing is, because a lot of times we'll say to someone that maybe is close to us, or someone that we're friends with, or someone that we're married to or dating, or we're related to in some way. We'll say no, or not now, or I can't do that, or I don't want to do that right now. And the thing is, this is another big thing. If you don't want to do something because you have other plans, or you have something else that you need to take care of that's pressing, you don't owe them an explanation. Even Dr. Seuss, when he asked me, he's like, do you want to go do this? And I'm like, I can't right now, but can we, because we've been together for a while, and I'll say, I can't right now, but I can do it on this day, or I can do this on this day. Do you know, he doesn't ask me why. Most of the time I will give him an explanation, but he doesn't ask me why. We have a lot of respect for each other's privacy. I don't know if it's because we met when we were a bit older. I don't know if it's because we got married when we were a bit older. I mean, he's younger than me. So he was still in his 30s when we met and when we got married. But still, we have a lot of privacy for each other. Like, we can get into each other's phones. Our fingerprints and face and all that. And he says he knows my code, but he always asks me for it. But we have that access to each other's lives, but we never really utilize it. And when I say I can't do something, and then I turn around and walk away, he's not getting all like turned around and upset. And because this would have been a game changer for me. If I had said to him about anything, no, I can't do that this day, but I can do it another day. And he turned around and started going, well, I'm very upset about that. This is upsetting that you can't be here for me, that you can't do this. I'm sorry. Are you having brain surgery? Is this your graduation? Is this like a high holy day for you on some level? But if he had said that to me, that would have been a game changer. And I probably would have walked away, no matter how attached I was to him. And let me tell you, I didn't meet him. I didn't start dating him until I was 37. 37? Yeah, because I turned 38 when we were together. And I, we got married when I was 40. I dated a lot. That's a whole nother conversation. Yeah, I dated a lot. And there were so many times that I would stay with people and try to change them, try to make them into something that they were not, which was not fair to them. But I could see the potential in them, and I was trying to make them into their potential. Well, one of my first, she's really my favorite like mentor. She asked me, she was like, we were in Colorado. She's like, "You see that tree out there?" And I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "It's a pretty tree, isn't it?" I was like, "Yeah, it's a very nice tree. It's very pretty." And she was like, "That tree has the potential to be a lot. That tree has the potential to be a house. It has the potential to be paper. It has potential to be a desk, a piece of furniture. It has potential to be a lot. But do you need to change it? Do you need those things right now? Or do you already have them?" And I'm like, "No, I have what I need." And she's like, "Okay, so then you can appreciate that tree for just how it is without having to change it. You can appreciate it for what it is because you have everything you need. That's how you need to go into a relationship." She told me that so many years ago, of just, you need to appreciate that person for who they are because you have everything you need. So you need to appreciate that person for who they are, and what, that you don't have to change them. If they choose to change and it's still in alignment with what you want, great. But if it's not, that's not something you can force, right? You don't want to tear down a beautiful tree to make something that you need, because one day you may not need that thing anymore. So think about that. One day you may not need that desk or that paper or whatever it was that you used that tree to make. You may not need it anymore. So when you say something to someone and they're trying to change you, are you going to be the tree? Or are you going to let them cut you down and make you into something that they need right now? And then later on, they may not need you anymore. And then where are you going to be? That's the blame game. Then who are you going to blame? Are you going to blame that person because they cut you down? Or are you going to blame yourself because you said, "No, you can cut me down. You can make me into whatever you need." Do you need paper? Do you need a desk? What do you need? Do you need a home? I'm here for you. So, who are you arguing with? Who are you arguing with, empaths? Now, I say all of this because you know how I am. I don't really manifest during eclipses. I do collect water sometimes. This eclipse, I'm collecting water. Well, the eclipse that happened last night or early this morning, that total solar eclipse in Aries, yeah, I collected water for that. Um, Last year there was some stuff going on with the eclipses, especially in the fall, that I did not collect water for, and I was just like, yeah, I'm staying out of that. So, but I definitely do not manifest during eclipse season. I just hold off and wait until the eclipse energy has sort of died down, because I just don't want to bring in chaos with it. And I finally found somebody online that like illustrated it to me so that I understood why I was always really hesitant about doing any like big manifesting or any big magic or anything during eclipses. So that's interesting. Okay, Catlin. What's the difference between projecting and honestly telling someone how you're feeling? Because I see a lot of people calling it projecting when you're just trying to communicate. Okay. Oh my gosh. Catlin, this is so good. Yes. All right. This is why I love this live stuff. This is so awesome. Catlin, this is so perfect. Okay. When you are honestly saying your feelings, when you're honestly saying, again, I'm going to use the tree analogy, probably going to use it like all evening. Hope that doesn't make y'all mad. So when you're using the tree analogy and someone comes up to you and says, "Hey, I appreciate your beauty, but you know what? I could really use this, and you're not that." And you're like, "Oh my gosh, but I'm so in love with you. Yes, you can cut me down." Or you say, "Hey, I appreciate that you need that, but I'm not your tree. I'm not your tree. I don't want you to do that. That's not where I'm at. I don't feel like I can be that for you. That's you stating honestly. And them saying, especially if they say you're projecting, if they go, you're projecting your stubbornness, you're just projecting that off on me. Like, what am I supposed to do now? You won't cut yourself down for me. You see, that's them projecting their shit onto you. Okay, I said I wasn't going to cuss on the lives. What is wrong with me? I can't I can't bleep myself out, and I'm trying to get monetized. What is wrong? So they're projecting themselves on you, but they're saying that's their feelings. They're like, no, see what you're doing to me? You're doing to me. I feel bad now because of you. Projection. Now I'm simplifying it a lot. I am simplifying it. But when you're stating your feelings honestly, you're probably not getting amped up. You're just like, no, I can't do that for you, but and I'm sorry, and I hope you find what you need. I hope you find somebody to cover your shift, do your laundry, wipe your ass, whatever. God, I just did it again. Um, but you're just saying, no, but thank you. I appreciate that, but I'm not your person. I'm not your person to do that. I'm not your person to like bail you out of jail, or I'm not your person to, clean up your mess from whatever you've done. You're just stating it honestly. And when you're trying to communicate that to someone and and they're not listening, just walk away. It's taken me a long time to realize that. It really has. And let me tell you another story. Um, I worked for this company. It was a tech school. And I say it's a company, but it was a college. It was a tech school. I worked for this tech school, and I won Teacher of the Year one year. And it was like January. They made the announcement from the year before. I won Teacher of the Year. And in March, they told me that they were cutting my job starting in April. That they were cutting my job down, and they were making it part-time. And I was like, okay. And I just thought, because all I was thinking about was my students. And because the program was like 9 months long, so I got attached to my students, spending time with them. And I was like, okay, well, what can I do? What can I do? And they were just like, oh, okay. So they sort of started manipulating the system, trying to see how much I would do. Um, and I I kept taking it until one of my coworkers was like, she was so angry and she was so upset. And I was like, I'm so sorry. What's going on? And she goes, no, this is what I'm angry at. I'm angry that you're not angry. She said, I'm angry and upset that you won Teacher of the Year. And now these, fill in the blank with a name, blank, blank, these people have like sliced your job in half and taken away your benefits. I'm angry and upset at that. And I'm frustrated with how this is rolling. And it never occurred to me that I should be angry at that treatment. This hasn't been that many years ago. Well, okay, 15 maybe. But it's not it's not been like, decades. I allowed that to happen. I let them cut me down. What do you need from me? Yes, I want to be here. They knew how attached I was to my students. I want to be here. What can I give you? What can I continue to give you? When I should have put up boundaries and said, I'm sorry, I can't do that anymore. You cut my job in half. Like, now I need to find an additional job. I need to supplement my income. And so when I started thinking about that, I immediately went back to years before when my mentor said that about relationships. It applies to all relationships, all of them. Um, yes, okay, Tomomi. All right, so Tomomi's in the chat. The one that I was talking about, like introduced me to like fresh ginger tea a few years ago. That really did help my throat. And she knows doTERRA really well. Love it. So she says she finished one friendship because she said no to her request. And the thing is, you don't have to give an explanation. You just say, no, I appreciate you thinking about me. Thank you for whatever it is, inviting me, whatever. And just say no. You don't have to give an explanation. It's the walking away first when I start getting ramped up that's hard for me. Yes, if it's someone I don't care too much for, I'll just stare at them until they walk away. Okay, Catlin, this is what you have to do. When you put this image in your head of you being the tree, how much of that tree is going to survive if it's cut down? How much of that tree's essence is going to have to completely regenerate if the roots are left? Don't let anyone, including someone that you're close to, take all of that away from you. Take all of you away from you. That's what you're protecting. And it's really easy once you get into practice. It does take time because I sometimes will still get ramped up with the wrong people. So someone that's close to me, someone that I'm related to, and I know I shared this with you guys a couple of weeks ago, that when he was talking to me and he was like, "See, that's your problem." Does any conversation that's good start off with "that's your problem"? So he says to me, "That's your problem. Somebody says something to you at like a level 1 or 2 and you react at a level 8." And I'm like, "Did you see the other level 1s and 2s that person kept delivering to me all day or the day before or the day before that? Did you see that? Were you there for that? Did you ever stop to say, why is she reacting at a level 8? Why did she react so harshly? Did you ever stop to say that? Or did you just start laying blame at my feet and go, no, she's just a bitch, just whatever. She's just a woo, a big old witch in a bad way, not in the pleasant, happy way, right? Not Glenda the Good Witch. But the thing is, it's you have to practice stepping away. And that person that said that to me is somebody that I have often lost my fudging mind with because he's been an antagonist to me. So I just looked at him and I was like, well, you didn't see the first like few that came in at me. You didn't see those. And he's like, "Oh, no, I didn't." And I was like, "You should really start paying attention. There's a reason why that tree has been able to stand so long. There's a reason why that tree has such deep roots and has been able to grow and flourish because it's protected itself. Not harshly. It still enjoys the elements, right? It still enjoys oxygen and rain and squirrels and occasionally my cats or whatever. It still enjoys those things, but it does have boundaries. It does have boundaries. So this is where it's really, really hard, Catlin. It's harder to walk away from the people that you're closest to because you expect for them to understand you. You expect for them to have that. You expect for them to go, there's something wrong. They don't normally act like this. There's something wrong. What's going on with you? Can I help? That's what you expect from your nearest and dearest, right? You expect for them to pick up on the, like, maybe the sadness or the happiness or the frustration or whatever's going on with you. You expect for them to pick up on it. Why? Because you pick up on it for them, don't you? You pick up on it with them. So if you're saying no to someone, or not now, or I can't do that. And I do this even with my mom. I'll say I can't do that today, or I can't do that right now. And she'll say, "Okay, all right, do you need help with something?" This is a conversation that I just had with my mom like yesterday. "Do you need help with something?" And I'm like, "No, I got it covered. Thank you. But this is what I'm doing. And then once I get this completed, I can come and help you. I can come and do that. But I just need like a day." Now, she didn't ask me for an explanation. What she offered to me was help, and I offered her an explanation. That that's not either one of us projecting. She didn't say, "Ah, are you serious? After all the things that I've done for you, after all of this, you can't come and help me when I need you to be here? You can't do." That's a very, very different conversation, is it not? And that's blame. That's blame. She was using it. She was trying to make me feel guilty in that scenario. My mom doesn't do that. She was trying to, in that scenario, she was trying to make me feel guilty, trying to make me feel a part of it. And so if I had done that, then I would have had the blame game going, because I would have been like, I'm so sick of this. I'm so sick of this. And look, it causes these lines in my face. And you don't want those lines in your face, because then that costs money at the dermatologist to get the Botox out. Not that I've done Botox, but I don't have any problems with people that have done Botox. So, but that's a harsh thing there, is for someone to say that. Make it about them. Well, I'm upset. I'm disappointed. Okay, how do you know that the person that's saying no or not now isn't upset or disappointed? But maybe they have other obligations. And is that your business? No. So you don't have to tell them either. That's not their business. It's not even my mother's business. But again, she appreciates that. And I appreciate that with her. When I ask her for help, I'm like, "Can you do this?" And she's like, "Oh, I can't do it like today, but I can do it tomorrow. I can be there." And I'm like, "That's great. That's fine. Are you working on something that you need some assistance with? Is there something I can help you with?" These are the kinds of conversations that we have with each other. Not throwing blame, not casting out guilt and making the other person feel some kind of way. Because you start throwing out guilt, they're going to look for somebody to they going to look for somebody to blame, because they do have a life. There's other things going on that you may not know about. So you let go of it. And this was a thing with, again, a former friend of mine, where I would do that. I would be like, "Is there anything I can help you with? Is there something I can do?" And it would make her mad. It would make her mad because, well, a lot of the times she was projecting. She was making stuff up. She would say no, not because she just didn't want to do it or she had something else going on. She would say no because there are people that enjoy aggravating others, to be honest with you. Just don't know why. Um, that's my sister-in-law. She thinks people around her knew what she wanted them to do without being asked. So she gets upset when they don't do what she wanted them to do. She can't even get along with her own family. See, yes, communication is very, very important. With empaths, with like that codependency, you have to be able to communicate. And like Catlin is saying, when you start communicating and you start saying, I don't really like that. I don't really like that behavior, or don't really appreciate when you treat me like that. And what they want to do, because you usually come to them starting out calm. You usually come to them and you're just like, I don't want this. Like, this is not what I want. And when when I hear that, when someone comes to me and says, I don't want to do that. I don't This is not what I want. I don't I don't freak out as much as I would if they're just avoiding me for no damn reason. If they're not like giving me like a no, they're just like ghosting me. And yeah, that happens. Like when you're supposed to meet somebody somewhere and they just don't have the guts, they don't have the respect for you to say, yeah, I'm not going to be there at that time. And you show up and you're just like, where are they? And then they're not answering, they're not texting. And don't tell me you don't have your phone on you, because here I am on camera and I've got both my work and my phone, both my work and my personal phone on me right now. So don't tell me you don't have your phone on you. Especially after 3 hours. Yeah. So that's also something that a narcissist would do to an empath. Just leave them hanging. They're okay. Just they don't want to have a confrontation. That's what they call it. It's a confrontation. And confrontation is abuse. No, confrontation is not abuse. Why weren't you there? What do you mean? Why wasn't I there? I told you I wasn't going to be there. I told blah, 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 blah. No, you didn't. Here's the text. Here's the emails. Here's the messages. This is what we said we were going to do. Where were you? And that's the kind of thing that they get upset about. And because they're upset, they need to deflect and they want you to be upset too. So they'll try to change the subject. They'll try to change it and make it about you and about your treatment of them, when it's really what? Their treatment of you. They don't want to be in the wrong. They don't want to be in the wrong. The thing is, living in the house with someone, being part of the family, I know when my my husband, my kids, I even know when my mom is upset. And a lot of times I know when one of my brothers is upset, even though they don't live close by. But I can talk to them on the phone and be like, tell me what's wrong, what's going on, do you feel like sharing it? And if they don't, I'll say, okay, is there anything I can do? Is there something I can do? And they'll be like, no, I just need some alone time. I'm like, all right, well, I can get off the phone. Let me know when you resurface. I'm not going anywhere. And it's the same even with my kids. My 8-year-old had a meltdown tonight. Okay, we're struggling with some on the spectrum situations with him. And every time is like we're walking into new territory. We're having a new experience, right? Everything is like a new experience. So I'm stepping into this and I'm like, tell me what's wrong. Tell me what's bothering you. And he's like, I don't know. Valid? Okay, you don't know what's wrong. Is it? And I'm like, do you want to figure it out? Do you want to talk to me about it? I'm like, is it your clothing? Let's just start with there. Let's just start with something basic. Is it your clothing? Do you need to use the bathroom? Are you thirsty? Are you hungry? Is that bothering you? And as I start to ask questions, he starts to calm down. And he sits back and he's like, I don't want to do my homework. Huh. Who does? Who wants to do homework? Do I want to do homework? Do I want to do second grade homework with him? Do I want to try and remember all that math? And I'm like, you know what? You're right. This is not fun. Math is not fun. So I've been watching all these videos about children that are neurodivergent, children that are on the spectrum. And I've been watching these videos and listening to some wonderful moms say This is what you can do. This is what you can try. I'm like, all right. So I was like, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to set a timer. We're going to take a break for 5 minutes. A break from everything. Whatever it is that's like swirling around in your head, we're going to take a break for 5 minutes. Okay. When the timer goes off, we're going to reset the timer and we're going to work on this homework sheet for 5 minutes, 5 minutes at a time. Whatever we get done in 5 minutes is great. We'll take another break and we'll come back to it and we'll work on it for 5 minutes at a time. That worked for him. That worked for him. After 45 minutes of like a complete meltdown, and I was like, and I was starting to lose it, and I was like, I can't be the one to lose it here. He doesn't even know what's going on. So I'm pulling in like all my guides and angels going, I got to have some help. Y'all gonna have to step in here. So when I started, I was just like, tell mommy what's wrong. What's happening? He wanted to know that somebody cared about what was going on in his head, even though he couldn't figure it out. He wanted to know that. How many times as an empath did you just want somebody to ask you, what's wrong? What can I do? Let's figure this out together. If you don't have that in your life, I get it. I get that. This is where I'm saying again, most of the arguments we have are with ourselves. Go talk to yourself because you're truly not alone when you're talking to yourself in the mirror. That's why when Dr. Seuss catches me in the bathroom talking to myself in the mirror, it's a common occurrence here, people. I'm not kidding. When Dr. Seuss catches me talking to myself in the mirror, he walks in and he's like, are you on the phone? Are you talking to yourself? Or are you talking to your guides and angels? Or are you talking to mine? Did I do something? I'm like, I'm talking to myself. I got something I got to work out. I'll be with you in just a minute. Real funny. Yeah. Okay, I'm catching up here. I know, Alethea, I do too. I hate that. Catlin, I had a family member I was supposed to meet for lunch. She called and said she wasn't going to make it because she had to clean, and then posted a photo an hour later of her at a cookout. That hurt a lot because we were always honest with each other. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. That's not nice. That's not nice. How hard would it have been to say, I'm sorry I can't meet you. I forgot about this cookout. I got to go. You know, like what? How hard is that? Hey, Gretchen. Hey, thank you to mommy. Thank you. But you know what? It's okay. We're dealing with a lot. But the thing is, it's important that you be able to have that dialogue, even if it's with yourself. Because believe me, it sounds crazy, but you can work out a lot of stuff having a conversation with yourself in the mirror because your guides jump in. Your guides jump in and they help you work that out. Especially when I'm upset, when I'm so angry and I'm so frustrated with whatever's going on. And I have to sit back and I'm like, let's pull back the layers. Let's start with something basic. Are you hungry? Are you thirsty? No. Do you have a headache? No. I start with myself with basic things because I need to pull myself out of that shitstorm. I did it again. God, am I ever going to get monetized on that channel if I don't stop cussing so much? But until I pull myself out of that shitstorm, this is my process. For others, it may be sitting down and like meditating. It may be going into prayer. It may just be standing outside and touching a tree, which actually does work for me as well. It really does. But having that conversation with myself and ramping it down, and then I'm like, okay, now what's wrong? And, and then I'm just like, this is what's going on. And it's usually something really, really simple. But what I've done is I've taken something that was really small and really simple and I just keep wrapping it. I keep wrapping other little things around it until it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And then my frustration has, yeah. So when you say no to someone and they get mad, and it happens, it does. When you say no to someone and they get mad and they get angry, it's not, I say this all the time, it's them, it's not you. It truly is them, it's not you. That's projection. That's projection. Because they have an expectation. And that's not where we need to be, right? That's not where we need to be. Where we need to be is if we need to ask someone for something, if we need to ask someone for a favor, if we need to ask someone to travel with us or do something, we're asking someone that we're putting our faith into, to be honest with you. If they ghost us, if they back out, that's a whole different thing. And that's where you can sit back and just be like, rather disappointed that you couldn't be honest with me and tell me this is going on, but that's okay. I have learned my lesson. You know, we need to we need to do something. We need to open up some communication or whatever. And I've had this conversation with people I'm related to because I don't necessarily just want to cut them off. I mean, because they're not toxic, they're just a little narcissistic. Yeah. Um, Oh, I'm so glad, Alethea. I'm so glad that's good. A lot of times I make issues huge and they aren't that big of an issue. But the thing is, Gretchen, the thing is, it is a big issue to you. It is, and it's important. And that's the thing is I don't want to diminish it because that little thing was important to me. It was something important to me, but I didn't address it. I didn't address it. I put it on the back burner. I didn't address it. I didn't take care of it. And that's where like I was projecting and getting mad at the animals because they weren't going to the potty fast enough. Well, my gosh, spring has sprung finally in Georgia. I let these dogs outside and they want to sniff every blade of grass in this yard. And it's not a small yard. They want to sniff every blade of grass. They want to check out every little like flower, what's going on. Has a squirrel been here? Has the possum been over here? And I'm getting mad at them because they're just doing their thing. That's me projecting because what did they do? They didn't screw up my day, you know? Um, and that's a whole nother thing. My boyfriend would say that to me. That's funny. High maintenance people. Oh my gosh, yes. But the thing is, Gretchen, I don't want to make light of it because if you have an issue, it is important to you. If you feel something, that is important to you. We just want to address it right then so that we don't make it into something bigger. And I feel like that's a natural response for an empath because we're taught from like early on in any kind of relationship, even one that we have with ourselves, to just, you know, just put it to the side. Just put it to the side. We're just not going to deal with that right now. Maybe it'll go away. Will it though? Will it? So I wanted to bring this up because this was this was something that kept coming up with me today when I was looking at this, when I was saying most of the arguments that we have with other people are really with ourselves. This card. Now, you guys know that I love, love, love this deck, and I can't get this to focus. There it is, the Judgment card. Now, this looks different in the Light Seers. I can't, hang on just a second. I don't know if you guys have seen me use this on my shows, the reading shows that I do, the readings at the round table. But this is the Light Seers Tarot. God, come on, focus, man. There you go. Ah, this is the Light Seers Tarot. This is officially, it hasn't completely replaced my John Holland's Psychic Tarot deck, but it has quickly risen to the top of my favorite deck. Do you see how this is portrayed, this judgment card? And in the traditional tarot, the judgment card is all about that epiphany, that aha moment, that that I keep saying come to Jesus moment, that light bulb, you're being able to see clearly, that sudden revelation. But it's a self-realization. It's a self-realization. Do you see how this is? I cannot get this to come in focus again. I love my new camera, but it's just, yeah, there we go. Do you see how it's coming from her? Do you see how it was inside of her the whole time? Do you see the beautiful thing that it's showing that it's in her and it always has been? This is a self-realization moment, and that's what I love to see in empaths, is that self-realization moment where they realize they're worth it. They're worth it to say, I am this tree. No, you cannot cut me down. No, do not cut me down for something that you need right now, because you'll throw me away when you find something else that you're looking for. That's the best analogy that I heard. And it really has been like 20 years ago. That's the best analogy. And my relationships changed after that. My relationships with like my romantic partners and even some of my friends changed after that. It took me years to realize that my friends, like, I also have friendships that fall under the categories with narcissists and empaths. It took me a long time to realize that I, for the longest time, thought that as an empath, it was just in my romantic relationships. No, it's in all of them. Even in relationships that we have with our companies, the people that we work for. So the blame game is so hard, and it's really especially hard right now with Mars and Cancer. I get it, because I still sit back and go, oh my gosh, I just, this is so, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? Well, first of all, I just sit and go, Mars is in Cancer. You can feel this, but don't camp out in it. I tell myself that. I share so much with you guys. I'm so glad that y'all don't think I'm like crazy. But the thing is, like, I'm seeing this more and more in relationships and what's going on with people. And even in just like family dynamics, where we want to be there for each other, right? I mean, again, I use that analogy of the tree as a relationship. What is going on with my hair? You want to be that tree that people appreciate you for the beauty that you are without having to cut you down and change you. Look at that tree. Look at that person in your life. Do you appreciate them the way that they are? That's a real relationship. Do you want to cut them down and turn them into something that you need? No. You need to have everything that you need in for any relationship, for any friendship, like any romantic relationships with people in your family. It's a little different when they're children, like children. I'm not talking about adult children, but it's a little bit different. There's a little bit of a different thing there. But the thing is, you have to be able to recognize, is this person trying to cut me down to make me into something that they need now? And then throw me away when they find something better, or they find something else that they need and they no longer need me. But that tree that stands there beautifully and proudly, I mean, you just have to think of yourself as the tree. And I am going to like bring up this book that I showed like months ago, Tree Magic. I really, really love this book. I am not giving out any spells tonight because of this eclipse energy. It literally happened like just a few hours ago. I mean, depending on your time zone, it could have happened on the 19th, just before midnight, or on the Eastern Standard Time, where, I am, where a lot of the people in the chat are. It happened just after midnight, that Aries solar eclipse. And then we have a lunar eclipse coming up in Scorpio in May. Okay, I wrote it all down. I think it's May 6th. Not entirely certain, but it's in May. And so we've got this eclipse energy. So I don't do a lot of manifesting during eclipse season. Last year I didn't even collect water during that last eclipse stuff that we had going on in October. I did collect water last night. But no, I'm not doing that. So I'm not adding chaos to stuff. I don't I don't need that chaos energy. I'm a mom of boys. I have enough. I'm so funny. Seriously. Hey Suzanne, how are you? Does I hope it does, Catlin. I'm not always good at explaining things, but I try to I'm trying to like get it across in like many different ways so that you can pick up what you like, and what you don't resonate with, you can leave it. I know. It's like really chaos, Gretchen. Oh my gosh. And you guys know the memes about stepping on a Lego and how painful that is? That shit is real. That's painful. Like, I don't even walk through my house barefoot anymore for fear of stepping on a Lego, because I have one child up there that he saw online. He builds Lego stuff all the time and he's obsessed with Star Wars, but he saw online the Lego Death Star. No, no. I love Star Wars. No Lego Death Star. Not until we learn to pick up the Legos off the floor now. I mean, because when you have to get up in the middle of the night to let a dog out, I'm not stepping on a Lego. Yeah. Aren't we still oh, no. Mercury retrograde officially starts tomorrow, but we've been in the shadow of it, Suzanne. We've been in the shadow of Mercury retrograde. So it really has affected me. I managed to destroy not one, but two sets of AirPods. I win the award for that. Yeah. So technology is a little off, it's really strongly affecting me. I mean, Virgo with Gemini moon, double ruled by Mercury, really. But yeah, I managed to destroy not one, but two sets of AirPods. I'm so happy. I'm so lying. But the Apple Store has told me that I may be able to resurrect one set by just changing the case. So we're going to see if that works. I know. I love those guys at the Genius Bar. I'm just like, do you want me to bake you brownies? Do you need them to be gluten free or like anything special, vegan? What do you need from me so that you can help me fix my AirPods? I mean, really, it's just crazy. But yeah, Mercury retrograde, full force officially tomorrow. But this eclipse energy, like coupled with that retrograde, I'm not thinking that that's the happiest thing ever. It's not the worst, right? But it's not like, yeah, it's not the happiest. So I want you guys to take away from all of this stuff that I've talked about. I want you to visualize both sides here. I want you to visualize you being the tree, and I want you to visualize the person you're talking to as the tree. Like, again, like my mentor told me, I can't believe it's like been almost 20 years that she was just like, okay, let's talk about your relationships. And it took me a really long time to apply it to all of my relationships. Isn't that tree beautiful? Is it lovely? Yes, it's a beautiful tree. I love it. Do you love it just the way it is? Yes, I love that tree. It's gorgeous. Okay, so you wouldn't cut it down to make like a desk or paper or furniture or home. It can make all of those things and it has that potential. It has that potential to make all of those things. But would you cut this beautiful tree down to make those things for yourself? No, I don't need those things. I already have them. That's a relationship. You can have a real relationship with that tree because you appreciate it and you don't have to cut it down. You have everything you need. And let me tell you, we have everything we need inside of us. If I can get the camera to focus, we have everything we need inside of us. We truly do. We really do. Just like the medical medium that I started out talking about and him being attacked and going through all of this, again, with that Mars and Gemini energy that we had like for 8 months. I'm so grateful that they uncovered that and that he's relatively safe. I don't know if they'll still try to come against him, but at least he's put it out there on his very popular podcast about it. But the medical medium, like being secure with who he is and knowing that he has everything he needs. He's just sitting back and going, okay, okay, how do we deal with this? But he has been extremely helpful. He's been extremely helpful for me. I don't know if any of you guys follow the medical medium. I really like him. He's just, I mean, he's not like gospel. It's not like everything he says is, biblical or anything. He's just really, I just really appreciate what he does for chronic illnesses. So very interesting. But I do appreciate him, but seeing all of that energy that he's had to go through, it's tough, man. It is. But we appreciate him for who he is, right? He has everything he needs. Oh, sorry. But my voice and my cough has gotten so much better. Again, I'm not advertising and I'm not sponsored by doTERRA, but these are freaking awesome. These are freaking awesome. Along with Manuka honey and ginger tea, green tea. But Tomomi taught me how to make that fresh ginger tea. So grateful for that. Very grateful to Sprouts for having fresh ginger. Yes, but but you guys just realize it may take some time. It may take some time for you to understand you have everything that you need. We can heal ourselves. And the medical medium is one of those people that does help us heal ourselves, mind, body, and spirit. We have the tools to heal ourselves. Talk to yourself in the mirror. Talk to your guides in the mirror. Whatever you got to do, it's fantastic. It's a fantastic outlet. And if you're living with someone or you have a spouse or you have a roommate or whatever, just tell them you're on the phone or something. I don't always answer myself, I will tell you that. Sometimes I wait and listen to my guides to answer me. But having that conversation with myself helps me to ramp down. And sometimes I will answer myself. But that's when Dr. Seuss steps in and he's like, "Is this are you having a conversation with yourself?" Or It's really good to train them early on in your relationship. So 13 years later, that they're not like, I just don't think anything I do ever shocks him anymore. You got to wonder. All right. Well, do you guys have any questions? Do you have anything going on? Is there anything, hey, is there anything you guys want me to talk about? I forgot to talk about. So I give myself pep talks in the mirror. Oh, Gretchen, that's a good one. I give myself pep talks in the mirror. That is a good one. That's awesome. We should all be doing that, giving ourselves pep talks in the mirror. I'm a tree. Don't cut me down. Yeah. Here's something I was going to tell. I know that there's just a few of you left in the chat, but I want to tell you, even if you're watching this in the reruns, I am giving away cards. I'm giving away not one, not two, but 3 decks of cards that I have now used and reviewed, and I am ready to give away. These are great cards. They're awesome. I mean, they're awesome cards, but it's just that y'all wouldn't believe how many cards I have. I mean, you just would not believe how many card decks I have. And I love them. I get attached to them, but I think it would be better to give some of them away. So, I have 3 decks that I'm going to be giving out and giving away. And here's what you need to do to enter the raffle. Okay. You either need to register, not register, sign up for the newsletters on my website, metaphysicalroundtable.com. You just like sign up for email blasts or whatever. Excuse me. This is what happens when I talk for a long time. Sign up to get email blasts. Now, I don't send out emails all the time. I send out emails like every now and then when I'm doing classes or when there's something special coming up or when there's other presentations that I think are important. That's when I send them out. And really, I maybe like 4 or 5 times a year I'll send out emails. So I try not to bombard you, but sign up on there. If you're already a subscriber on the website, I will enter you. Okay. In addition to like signing up on the website, I need you to drop a comment in either the on reviewed at the round table. Oh my gosh, readings at the round table, that YouTube that YouTube page, that YouTube channel. Drop a comment either in the monthly numerology or the weekly readings. And it doesn't even have to be anything big. Just put an emoji or something. Just drop a comment in and I will enter your name in that. So I am giving away decks of cards that I've reviewed. They've not really been used. Just ones that I've reviewed. Maybe I played with a little bit, but they're practically new. But I don't want to sell them. I just want to give them out to people. So drop a comment in either monthly numerology or weekly readings and subscribe to the website. And if you're already one of the subscribers on the website, I will enter you. I will enter you into the contest. So I usually do that. Hey, Todd. Hey, Todd and Leanne. Hey. Oh my gosh, Gretchen, are you the sweetest? Thank you so much. And I like that. I'm putting that on my mirror. What a great thing. Like just talking to yourself in the mirror and giving yourself that pep talk. Girl, you're looking good today. Who did I see? Like there was an actress, a famous actress that does that. She says after I saw it in a meme, like after she brushes her teeth in the morning, she's like, pretty bitch. I could do that. I need to do that. That's such a good idea, Gretchen. You always have the most awesome ideas. Hey, Amber Melanie, how are you? Oh, Tomomi. Okay. All right, let me tell you, I haven't completely decided yet, but I will tell you one of the decks I am giving away is the Nightmare Before Christmas deck. And I kind of was up in the air about Labyrinth. It's this deck. It's a tarot deck. And it's really, really cool. If you love the movie, it's a pretty awesome deck if you love the movie. So, you never know. Um, I actually was choosing from 6 different decks. I've been reviewing I've been reviewing a lot. I just haven't put them out because just like having the time to edit, and then there's always something going on. Like this week, I'm just editing the videos that I've done this week because my son had a field trip to the zoo. And so I took the day off and it was fun. So I don't regret it. It was so much fun. And all those children at the zoo, and it was like the Atlanta Zoo had like field trip day. So all of these, it was like kindergarten and under. So it was preschools and kindergarten that were at the zoo on Tuesday. And it was, and I love it, but I was just like, oh my gosh, oh God. I now sound sorry, but I'm my worst critic and lots too much brain chatter whenever I say out. Yes. Oh my gosh. Suzanne, that's exactly, yes, we are our own worst critic. That's why when I was saying most of the arguments that we have with other people, we're having with ourselves. We're having with ourselves. So you don't need to, that's why I tell people, I'm like, I'm a Virgo. You don't have to criticize me because believe me, I have criticized myself like a million times worse than you could ever do. I mean, you may come up with a new thread that I didn't know about, but I'm still my own worst critic. um, I did see a panda Tomomi. Yes, I did. And let me tell you, you guys, I haven't been to a zoo in 20 years because I have a hard time at the zoo. Does anybody else like I have a really hard time at the zoo because like I feel like if the animals are upset or if they're hot or if it's just like, uncomfortable or if they're just I I'm like picking up and I can't do it. So I haven't been to the zoo in a really long time because and I'm bad. I haven't taken my kids to the zoo. The aquarium is a little bit easier for me because a lot of those animals have been rescued. And a lot of the animals, like they'll tell you which ones have been rescued, and like you can see injuries on some of them that are being healed or whatever. Um, but I have a really, really hard time at the zoo. So, and it's hard because, I I'm a biologist, man. So I'm like walking through the zoo and I was just like, okay, okay. What switched it up for me is that a lot of the habitats have changed. They've changed a lot of the habitats in the last 20 years, which has really been great. But they also like there was actually it was a panda that there was something wrong, and like the panda was just pacing around and pacing around and pacing around, and I was like, I think he's upset. And one of the trainers or one of the zoo employees was actually coming to get him, and so I don't know if there was something going on, but there was something going on, but it was a stressful situation. But the children were like sort of overrode it because there were so many children there that had just like it was just a wonderful experience for them, and that was like so joyful. So it was great to be there like feeling that much joy and that much excitement coming from those children. And I mean that was wonderful. So I really liked it. It was fun. But I took the whole day off and now I'm like still behind. I mean, I'm trying to keep up this year, but good gosh, I'm like, so I think I just about have like enough reviewed at the round table, all the cards that I've reviewed and stuff I've reviewed. I think I have enough for like the rest of the year almost. And but the other thing is that I've started reviewing books and I've started like last year I reviewed the Llewellyn's calendars. Um I've started reviewing other things. And there is a follower of mine and a friend of mine. She's usually I don't know if she's here. Sometimes she pipes up in the chat. Um, she's a gypsy soul surfer. If you guys follow her, she has some wonderful products, and I would love to review her products. I mean, because I watch her make them on Facebook, and I would love to review her products because I reviewed uh Carrie's products, but I didn't tell her that I was ordering them. So that's what I would like to do for Becky's products. Her name is Becky. She does Gypsy Soul Surfer, and I would love to like review some of her products because it's kind of cool. It's kind of neat. But I live 5 minutes from Safari Park, totally different from zoo. Oh, that would be really cool. Yeah, like I would love to see that, like a wildlife thing. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that would be awesome. You need to take a break. Yes, yes, Tomomi, I do. I mean, I really do. I've been packing it in, man. And I'm like, okay, okay. But part of the reason I've been packing it in is because the summertime's coming and I am literally only going to be able to work part-time this summer because I'll have my kids, you know. They have different I've signed them up for some camps, for some day camps, but I'll have them. So, I know. Yeah. So, how you guys feel? Y'all feel okay? Everybody feeling good? Is there anything you guys want me to review? Like cards or candles or um I don't know. Like what kind of stuff do y'all want to see? I Gretchen has introduced me to some freaking awesome cards and I was like, ooh, and I love it when people like show me these really awesome things that I've missed because I don't always see them. But Gretchen showed me these really awesome cards. I can't wait to review those. Awesome. Because Gretchen also introduced me to the Morgan Greer tarot. Um, I do love these because they're, it almost gives you that antique sort of flavor. I don't know how to describe it. They sort of feel medieval. They're very pretty. They're very pretty. I dig them. You guys go check out that Medical Medium podcast. They're He's amazing. If you guys don't follow him, especially if anybody has chronic illnesses, he's really, really great about that. And he's also really great about telling you to, talk to doctors as well. I mean, don't go against the advice of your physician, but he's a really incredible. I mean, I don't follow every single thing he says, but I will say I bought a really fantastic juicer because of some of the things that he was giving advice for. And I haven't had another migraine, so we're gonna keep our fingers crossed with that. Um Shaman's Dreams, Suzanne? I'm gonna write that down. That sounds familiar. Shaman's Dreams. I appreciate everything. Okay. I there's a bunch of places that make candles now, Gretchen. I That would be fun for me because I don't know if you guys can see how many candles I have. I I charge candles on my altars. So this is some of them that I have charging, you know. Shamans, dreams, and candles. I should do another show about candles, Gretchen, and that way it would sort of lead into that. Yeah, because I love candle magic. I mean, I love it. I have a list of people over here that I keep candles going for. I know. Some of them are in the chat. You guys are so awesome. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I know I went over a half hour, but I had told the boys good night before I came down here. So, that's why I switched my time from 8 to 7:30, because that way I can wrap up at 8:30 in theory, and then I can still go up and tell my boys good night. It's nice like being home, being able to do that. But just remember, it's it's inside you. It's inside you. That self-realization is waiting. Be a tree. Appreciate your own beauty. Thank you guys so much. Y'all are so awesome. This is just a great crew. It really is. Okay, I'll do a candle magic show. I'm going to wait until this eclipse energy is, because I don't, well, no, you know what? I can teach about it before then. I just won't put the spell work out there until after the chaos is sort of. I hope y'all have a great night. I will. I will put this on. I'll put that on the docket. And you know what? Next week, I'll do it next week. I'll teach about candles and stuff next week. I mean, I got oodles. I got a lot of candles. Yeah. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful week. Thank you so much for supporting. Thank you so much for supporting me. I appreciate y'all. And don't forget, until we see each other again, get out there and make your magic. Bye, y'all.